What is up, my friends? I am going to answer a common question that I get and most fitness professionals get all the time. How many calories do I need to lose weight or drop fat? Today I want to show you a simple formula that you can use to get started with. And I know there's hundreds and hundreds of calculators out there, but I find that most of them are pretty inaccurate. They're pretty inaccurate. They don't take a lot into account about the person individually. And you know, that's the beauty of coaching, which we're not going to talk about today, because I want you to have a simple formula that you can use moving forward to start, all right? And take those calculators with a grain of salt. And plus, if you're not doing anything consistently, you don't know what's working and what's not. So pushing all that to the side, today I do want to give you a simple formula on how to find your calories for weight loss or fat loss. So I'm going to show you how to find your calories. I'm going to show you where your protein should probably be at. And then I'm going to make you stick around because there's some things to consider here with all this. So that's why I have the board a little bit empty. It makes people pay attention. All right? So I've changed my mind on this a few times, and I'm finding that the best scenario or a better idea would be to start with goal body weight times 10 to 12. All right, so you're gonna start with your goal body weight times 10 to 12. Now, I know people are gonna be like, Abby, how do I pick my goal body weight? And this is honestly, like, if you have a lot of weight to lose, if you're say you're 250 pounds and your dream weight or ideal weight would be 150, you definitely don't want to go that low in your calories to start. All right, so picking your goal body weight, pick something realistic, like maybe a first milestone, or you know, maybe something that you've achieved at a specific point in time in your life, but be realistic about it, okay? Like I said, this is something that I can't tell you. You have to kind of figure out yourself what your goal body weight is. And if it's too difficult, then go in increments of 10 pounds. Like where you're at now, I want to be 10 pounds lighter. That's my first goal. Then I would go with that. I would go with that goal first. And then once you hit that and you want to go further, then you make another goal. All right, so that's probably the easiest thing I can tell you as far as picking your goal body weight. So I'm always going to recommend to people that they start at the higher end. So let's say you are 150 pounds. I'm sorry. Let's say you're 170 pounds and you want to get to 150. 150 times 12 would be 1,800 calories. All right. So that's where you'd start. Why do I say start at the higher end? Because people are so quick to jump to the lower end calories when they can literally lose fat and lose weight on higher calories, and that's what we want, you guys. You have to make sure your metabolism stays high. So jumping to a lower end is not the solution. It's not going to get you quicker results. It's probably going to make you yo-yo and jump back. You want to eat the most amount possible in order to lose fat, okay? I'm going to say that again. You want to try to eat the most amount of calories you can and still make progress. That is a very hard thing for people to understand. But you're going to thank me for it, all right? You start low. Now, you have to be consistent with this number. If after 2 to 3 weeks of, I would say 3 to 4 weeks of solid consistency, you're not losing, then we start decreasing, all right? So always start high. Always start on the high end, okay? And I'm going to talk about this in things to consider. So first thing, goal body weight times 10 to 12, start at the higher end is what I recommend. I know a lot of you are going to just jump to start here, but I recommend starting higher and then seeing if that's working and then going a little bit lower, all right? All right, protein. Protein, you're going to take your goal body weight times 0.8 to 1, within that range. So 150 times 0.8 to 1 would equal 120 to 150 grams. Okay, so this is how much protein that you should be intaking. 0.8 to 1.0. So I'm taking that same goal body weight. Anywhere from 120 to 150 grams is what you should be shooting for. All right, you're gonna have difference of opinions here, and that's fine. This is a method that's worked extremely well for my clients and myself, and you're gonna get results. We gotta make sure that protein is high, because I promise you're probably not eating enough protein. And this isn't a protein video, so I'm not gonna go on extreme benefits, but we need to be eating more protein if you wanna look the way you wanna look, you wanna lose weight, you wanna drop fat. All right, so extremely simple, right? Goal body weight times 12 is gonna be how many calories? Protein, goal body weight times 0.8 to 10. It's gonna get you a starting point. Then things to consider. There's your starting point. Now be consistent with it. All right? If you're consistent 3 days and then you're not tracking on the weekends, that's not consistency. So you don't know if anything's working unless you're doing it consistently. All right? The second thing I know people are gonna wanna know is, what about carbs and fats? Okay? In the many years I've been doing this and working with clients, carbs and fats are more of a personal preference, unless you are a really high level athlete or a bodybuilder competitor where it matters maybe a little bit more. From a fat loss perspective, whatever you prefer, because calorie deficit is gonna be the key, and then protein levels and making sure you're intaking enough protein is gonna be the second most important thing. You need carbs, you need fats, you need them both. If you prefer higher fat, do that. If you prefer higher carb, do that. That's your preference. But as long as you're staying within the calories and you're hitting that protein, once again, been doing this for a lot of years, it's not going to make a big difference from a fat loss perspective, all right? And I find it's less stressful for clients to have to, when you have to stress about all these numbers, you get frustrated and give up. So why not make it easy for you, all right? I promise you this works if you just give it a chance and if you just try it. Another concern that people have is you're gonna see this number and be like, holy shit, Abby, that's a lot of calories. And I promise you that I'm gonna pick on women here, women in general believe they're eating really low calories when actually they're over consuming. You're restrictive during the week, so maybe you're intaking 900 to 12 to 1300 calories, and then on the weekend, you're so deprived of food during the week that you're over consuming and completely throwing yourself out of a deficit. So when you can actually eat more food and feel more full and keep that consistent, you're less hungry, you're not deprived, and you'll be amazed that you're actually start losing weight on more calories, all right? And what I mean by that is your binge restrict cycle, you're actually over consuming this number each week, but you're not even realizing it, okay? So I promise this number looks scary, but once again, don't knock it till you try it. Eating more calories, I've seen it time and time again, because women are gonna be more full and more satisfied and not have the urge to binge and cheat, and this is how you can fit in those fun foods and not feel deprived. You're actually gonna lose weight on more calories, if that makes sense. You're eating more calories per day, so you don't feel the need to overconsume or binge later on, okay? Same thing with protein. People are gonna say, wow, that's a lot of protein. Right, because you don't ever eat any. Your protein intake is so low. So this does seem like a lot. And it might take a little bit for you to get up there, but I promise this formula super easy, super simple, and it's gonna give you the results you want. You're gonna start seeing progress. And if you need any help, of course, or any questions, let me know in the comments. Be glad to answer, be glad to help. This is so bro that I'm doing this in a gym, right? With weights behind me. But hopefully this was helpful. If so, let me know. If it wasn't, cool, I'll get better, I promise. But let me know if this works for you. I'll talk to you soon.